bridges in the New Orleans region are closed because of structural concerns. Chris Welty finds out which ones and how long drivers will have to detour.
These decisions are not taken lightly.
The Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development closes 3 bridges this month after they failed inspections. In Orleans Parish, the Seabrook Bridge closed after a deficient column was found. DOTD says it might not reopen until August.
We're in the design process. We're finalizing that, and we plan on going out for bid for the Senator Ted Hickey repairs in May of this year.
In St. Bernard Parish, DOTD closed the Chalmette Ferry approach ramp.
We're still assessing data and information on putting a repair project together, but this will not be a short to medium term project to get that ferry landing back opening. That this will be something that's more of a longer term type of repair.
Also, the Paris Road Bridge over Bayou B Avenue is down to 1 lane southbound. Emergency repairs are expected.
We do not have a full timeline yet on the Bayou B Avenue Bridge, but we do anticipate that there will be full closures, and that project should take anywhere from 1 to 2 years on an accelerated schedule to get that bridge fully open.
According to DOTD, bridges are inspected at minimum every 2 years and more frequently if needed.
Once the inspection has been performed, goes through a number of different hands to ensure accuracy and validity, so we can make decisions on repairs and other inspections.
DOTD inspectors are looking for cracking or uneven portions and anything else that could cause structural failure. Inspectors use hammers, sonar, and in some cases, drones.
These are major structural issues that require contracts and a lot of technical expertise on both the design and construction side to ensure that we get these type of structures repaired appropriately.
In spring 2022, DOTD closed 5 bridges along US 90 that cross the Pearl River and its tributaries because of structural deterioration. The department is still trying to secure nearly $300 million in funding to replace the bridges, but according to a spokesperson, that figure exceeds DOTD's annual statewide bridge construction budget. A spokesperson added, historically, the closed bridges along US 90 have low traffic counts, and the state has an $18.8 billion backlog of projects. DOTD is working with the Coast Guard to get public input to determine the best way to proceed, and the department is waiting on those results. Lee?
All right.